Everybody, welcome to Seven and Friends on the Fantasy Shot Callers YouTube channel. It's Mock Draft Monday. I'm accompanied with my brother from another mother, Brother Fox. How are you?
And as our third member normally says, blessed and highly favored.
There it is. There it is. And we have a special guest, Stevie B. How you doing, Dynasty?
What is up? What is up, my guys? I'm all right, man. We're in redraft season right now, so I think I got one more redraft league to draft in. So we're just getting closer and closer to the season now. So fantasy's back.
Yes,
There it
sir.
is. There it is. Derek Lincoln, Hammer Salute, Stevie B.
What up, Derek?
We got another one. Hey, the following is strong, Stevie B. We got to have you regular.
Facts.
Yeah. I think he streamed to my channel as well, so some of my guys are in there already.
Do you have anyone you want to plug before we get busy?
What was that?
Do you have anyone you want to plug before we start the draft?
Nah, I mean, what are we? Am I picking first here, or are we gonna randomize this?
No, this is
You're picking first, brother.
Oh shit, I'm picking first. All right. This is the tough spot, right? Who do you even pick like number one here? But I'm still going to go with CMC. I mean, that advantage is major. And I know, it's a little risky going in with the injury. So you could argue to take, one of the receivers there as well. But I mean, last time we didn't take CMC at the 101. We've seen what he's done the last 2 years. So yeah, give me some CMC.
I'm not mad at it.
CMC was healthy. It's when he's healthy, he's the number one player in fantasy football. It's clear cut. But it's just, will he remain healthy? We always say on our channel he's a blue tent boy. Mm-hmm. So it's he graduated from college and went straight into the blue tent.
Right. I just feel like in redraft sometimes you just got to risk it for the biscuit.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Come on.
Who is that?
Piggy with the auto draft.
And there's a lot of people I see with CD over Cheetah. How do you guys feel about that? Are you just Cheetah over CD?
For me, it's been 1A, 1B, to be honest with you. Right. If Hill doesn't go down and miss, 1 or 2 games, I think he's easily the wide receiver 1 last year. And maybe I think that's what a lot of people are clamoring on to is where a person finished, kind of dictates where they should be drafted for next year. But that's 1A, 1B, to be honest with you. I actually like St. Brown more than both.
Really? Okay. I feel like St. Brown is the safest for sure.
Yeah.
St. Brown has the highest floor for sure, but
right.
I feel with Tyreek Hill, it's like Seven said, with the numbers he put up, if it wasn't for that hip drop tackle that made him miss 2.5 games, he would have clearly been the wide receiver 1 last year.
Yeah, I mean he's coming off of 2 1,700-yard seasons. I mean he might fuck around and go for 2,000 next year. With the league leader in passing in Tua.
Yeah, he was on pace for that for a minute. I like the safety and security of St. Brown. Not to mention, I mean, he was wide receiver 3 with an oblique injury for 16 out of 17 games. So what can you do with a healthy body?
Right.
Now I don't get this. The auto draft took Garrett Wilson before Jamar Chase. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's what you get for auto drafting. This is tough.
We got a new message from Amber.
I mean, gosh. I'm going to do it. I'm just really big on the best ability is availability, and I do not like drafting injured players. And I don't have Barkley that far behind Gibbs. We got.
I'm good with that.
Kevin says, "What it do?"
What up, Kev?
What's going on?
What up, player?
When you gonna rock with us? You settled in KC yet? What's going on with you? Amber Alert, the official first lady of Safe Space. Hopefully you're well, man. Hopefully the move went well for you. Tap in with us when you got your setup. And we'll even have Nick on as well. Just we can't have Brother Fox talk too much KC. You know, we only got a few followers as is.
That's too much talent on the screen at once. You know,
Right.
that's all it is.
And I mainly hate running backs because I play mostly Dynasty. But in redraft this year, I feel like, especially at the back end, when some of those top wide receivers are gone, that double hero RB like works really well in the back end there.
I feel like it does, and you always can get your receivers later on. I'm not going to say any names because I got draft etiquette, but there should be some guys available in the three through 6th round, 3 through 7th round. Might not have wide receiver 1 elite upside, but there's some guys that are still available. Hell, there's still some running backs available in the 3rd, 4th.
I agree.
Right.
Any picks that stick out to you that you don't like? It looks like we got the usual suspects so far. I don't understand how Drake London is going where he's going. What do you think about that, Stevie?
Drake London went at the 2-6.
Yeah,
I'm okay with it. Like, this is a tough range. Like, even my pick here, like I'm gonna take Devontae, but I don't really love it. Or I might just go Olave. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna go Olave. But it's a tough range there because London is kind of like that next elite guy, really, after like Puka, with a quarterback on a good offense. So like, it's tough. Like, I'm okay with him there. I think it is somewhat early, but at the same time, yeah, I feel like I'd probably take some of the running backs. I'd probably go Etienne Henry before I go London, but I don't mind him being the next wide receiver off the board there.
fair enough. Oh, it's your pick. You're back to back.
Oh, come on, dude.
Fuck. All right, I'll just take Devontae then.
Okay.
Looks like we got a full squad. Oh, who's auto drafted?
Piggy's auto drafting and Eric DeWalt auto drafting.
He messaged him. And Kevin just said what's up, so something must have happened with the baby hog. Got some love in here, Steve.
Kidda, what up, Kidda?
Let's see who we got. Still don't see any horrible picks right now.
Yeah, I was thinking about going Jacobs with my pick there instead of Devontae. Jacobs or Rashard White, but I was kind of coming down to the wire, so I took Devontae.
Yeah, I was hoping you didn't pick Jacobs. I do think he's bound to have a rebound year. I think he's in a good situation. He should be the de facto RB1 there, but we'll see.
I mean, he's always had pretty much that workhorse role. I mean, everybody likes Lloyd over there, but I mean, I'm not necessarily scared for Jacobs. I mean, they gave Aaron Jones the rock, and I think Jacobs would be the same kind of situation.
Couldn't agree more.
Man, now I regret going RB.
That's the thing, because now you get stuck in that wide receiver range where there's about 8 wide receivers that can pretty much do the same exact thing.
Yeah, well, I like a lot of running backs right here.
Slide the draft over a little bit so we can actually see your pick.
My bad. Let's go.
But yeah, there's some running backs out here too. Yep.
There we go. Let's see. No, I thought there was some good value. I think this is the latest I've seen Mike Evans go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know he walked off the field last week. I want to say last Thursday, but he returned back to practice. He's one of those guys who always, kind of like McCaffrey, will visit the tent but then return to the game. And it's like, oh gosh. And then he comes back, takes off one set of downs and then comes right back. Looks like Amber might have froze.
It didn't freeze on the app, but it froze on the show.
Okay.
I mean, this was crazy. Mike Evans has never had a season under 1,000 yards. That's just
Mhm.
So she ended up taking
just
Lamar
insane.
Jackson.
Oh, there it is.
And
It updated.
Nico. Okay, there we go.
Hey, look at Chef Dunn trying to cook. Look at him.
I
got
still
a
think
nice little
that's so rich for Achan.
Yeah.
Like we don't even know if he's gonna be the RB1 in that offense. I don't.
I think everybody looks at the upside
Mm-hmm.
and kind of pushes him up there. Like I've got him behind. I think I've got him behind like ETN and Henry. You know, I'm
Yep.
taking those guys first.
Agreed.
Do you like him over like a guy like Jacobs, who you were thinking about on the turn?
I do like him over Jacobs, but not by much.
Okay.
Not by much. Damn, who do I go with here?
Ooh, CJ in the 4th. If he's your guy, he's your guy.
He's been really consistent during. Well, one, there was a run on quarterbacks, and I feel like there's not that much value beyond the. Sure, there's talented quarterbacks, but if you want that high end value, it's kind of like I think it ends with Stroud. And then more so, he's been the most consistent quarterback in the preseason. He's come in, done his job. He's scored every time he's been out there, and then he gets off the field.
Hey, so is Bo Nix.
Bo Nix is playing against third stringers who are going to be working at Costco in 3 weeks, bro. Come on.
So I could have went running back with one of my picks, but I do like taking one of the elite tight ends. Like Ferguson is like the lowest I'll go. Like if I can wait to grab a Ferguson, that's great. But anything after Ferguson, like I am worried. So I like grabbing one of these top guys.
Yeah, it crossed my mind. I knew he was going to be there when it got back to me, but I do like that pick a lot. I think McBride is in store for a good season. I think he's a top 3 tight end in my opinion.
And I just felt like at my spot on the board, I didn't think any of the elite tight ends were going to make it back to me. So I kind of had to. I felt like maybe a tiny bit of a reach.
No, I think that's fair. I mean,
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I think late 4th, 5th round is kind of where we've seen the tight ends. I think in the homies league, he went right. He got sniped right in front of me. I think I had the 6th pick, so he went 5-5. And experts league, I drafted a slow draft. I drafted him. That one hurt. That Christian Kirk one hurt. Let's see. Got a comment. That's the lowest. Let me put this shot collars up here real quick. That's the lowest I've seen Pittman go. Why you guys feel like that about him? Brother Fox, I know you're not a big Pittman fan. You want to tackle that one?
I don't know. When it comes to Pittman, it's just it's the situation. Anthony Richardson's actually probably bound to have a very good season this year, but in his small sample size, it seems like he definitely looks to run more. His coordinator is the former coordinator for Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts took off in the red zone. So it's like he's going to be catch dependent as opposed to touchdown dependent because he's probably not going to get more than 3 to 5 touchdowns for the year. I've never been a Pittman fan. I don't think he's an elite quarterback. I think he's a wide receiver too. And I feel like it's going to show this year when he has a competent receiver alongside him, the kid out of Texas. I just don't see it. I don't see it long term.
Yeah, I don't mind Pittman. I think you're right. He is kind of a bona fide like wide receiver too. He's like a mid to high end wide receiver too. And I guess he kind of went a little late, but I mean, you're kind of in the range of like the Cup, Collins. Like these guys have some wide receiver 1 upside. Like if the guys left after Pittman was like Tank Dell, T. Higgins, Christian Kirk, I feel like he has some of that upside. I mean, I like Christian Kirk a lot this year. I think he's being way, way undervalued. But I'll take the wide receiver 1 over there in Pittman. I like Downs. I like Mitchell, but they're not as good as Michael Pittman. And I think they're still going to find a way to get him the football, even though, Anthony Richardson is more of a rushing quarterback. He is more of a not, good completion percentage type quarterback. But I think they're going to find ways to get him the ball. I mean, the guy's had last 3 years, over 130 targets in each of those years. So they're finding ways to try and get him the football. But I think you're right. He's definitely a wide receiver too, fantasy-wise.
Speaking of Christian Kirk, I don't want to talk his name up because we still got the Vegas draft, but wide receiver 11, his first year with T-Law.
Mm-hmm.
Calvin Ridley comes to town. Now Kevin Ridley's out of town. I look at the rookie as a complimentary piece to keep defenses honest, to be honest with you. But he's not getting the love and respect, and you can get him in the late 5th, 6th round more times than not.
Yep. Well, it's all recency bias. You know how it goes, especially nowadays. So Christian Kirk got hurt, and he was out targeting Ridley. He was the one that was seeing the targets. And then, once he got hurt, it was Ingram that kind of went off. So did that have to do with Christian Kirk not being there and him taking more of those targets? I think that does have something to do with it. So can Christian Kirk return back to form and be that wide receiver 1 for us, this year? And I think he can be. Let's go. And Brian Thomas, I like a lot too. I think he could eventually be the wide receiver 1 there, but it's not going to happen this particular season.
Let's see here.
So now I'm just mopping up some of these old running backs.
Yeah. One of them's got to stick. One of them's got to fit for you. Hypothetically, if this was a real draft. Another name who people aren't valuing, Scary Terry finally probably has the best quarterback he's ever played with.
Facts.
He goes 6'9". I don't think I've seen him drafted in the 5th round. So he's going 6th or later. I feel like that's a great value. He's always been a wide receiver too, regardless of the quarterback situation. Now he might have the best quarterback he's ever played with. What are your guys' thoughts on Scary Terry?
As a man who's drafted Scary Terry the last 2 seasons, it's in multiple drafts, he is probably the most volatile, inconsistent receiver there is out there. Now, I do blame it solely on the quarterback situation. They just haven't found a means to get him the football. But I think getting Ron Rivera out there is probably the best thing that's ever happened to Scary Terry. Now that he has a legitimate quarterback, I definitely feel like this is a resurgent year. If he ever wants to get paid like some of these big name receivers, I think he has the skills of someone like a Ayuk, but it's just a different situation. I do feel like he's if they have the right quarterback in place, which I think they do, Scary Terry should have a quality year.
Yeah, I like Scary Terry this year. He's a great value, and he kind of reminds you a little bit of the DJ Moore, right? Like a really good wide receiver, but just never had a quarterback. And now does the rushing ability of Jaden Daniels open up some things and let Terry, get open a little bit more, like we kind of saw with DJ Moore. I mean, Fields wasn't great passing the football, but because of his legs, he kind of opens up things a little bit, and you have to kind of game plan for that. So
exactly.
I love Terry this year. Can we unlock Scary Terry? That would be awesome. But again, we've got a quarterback in Jaden Daniels that can actually throw the football. I mean, we saw him with Neighbors, with Brian Thomas Jr. Like, he can support wide receivers. So not only, is his rushing, going to have a big impact, but his ability to actually throw the ball to a great wide receiver like Terry. I think finally we can hopefully see Terry, do some damage. And at his ADP, I mean, that's crazy value.
Yeah. Yeah.
Agreed.
Let's see. Any picks stick out to you guys that you love, that you dislike? I feel like this has been a pretty respectable, responsible draft.
I mean, I love waiting on quarterback and grabbing Jaden Daniels late. I mean, that's been one of my most favorite things to kind of do. And then you can lock him up with one of these safer guys like a Tua or a Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence type also. So I love waiting to grab a Jaden Daniels if you can't get one of those top QBs.
I lack the discipline. I'm on board with you. I so am. And I tell myself every mock draft, I tell myself the actual draft, the only draft I've done so far, yet I cannot bring myself to do it. I'm looking and I'm like, Joe Burrow in the 6th, not bad. Okay. I can't do it. Who did I take in Spencer's draft? I'm trying to think. Maybe I took Jordan Love in the 7th, but I can't do it. I don't know why I can't. And it's genius. Stack, get trade value, get Caleb Williams or Daniels in the 8th, 9th round, pair them up in the 10th, 11th round with the Tua, Stafford, Goff. There's so many talented. Purdy hasn't been going. Quarterback 6, quarterback 7 last year, and he's going, 9th, 10th, 11th round. But I'm just not disciplined enough to do it.
Now, if you are going to do that, you do have to kind of, I would say, draft properly, as in, make sure you're getting your running backs early, right? Make sure you get a tight end that's giving you an advantage. Now you can kind of take a chance on a Jaden Daniels, because worst comes to worst is he busts or he gets hurt, but then you've got a Jared Goff or Tua that you can kind of throw in there and you feel safe. At least you can be okay. And then, best comes to best, Jaden Daniels is a top 5 quarterback because he can rush the football. So
I like it. We got a question from Goku. Why does this keep going lower? I just want to drag it up. I think Bo Nix will be this year's Kenny Pickett as far as a lot of preseason hype and then struggles in the regular season. Yeah, I mean, it's not a talented roster, to be honest with you. It's really not a talented roster. Cortland Sutton is the number 1 over there. Javonte still hasn't, I know that's FloJo's guy, but he still hasn't proven that he was worth that 2nd round pick, That what was he out of North Carolina with? Was that Michael Carter?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he'll be okay. I mean, he lost a lot of weight apparently, so now he's back into that college shape. When he came out of college, he's back into that kind of shape. So I'm excited for him. I mean, the guy is a broken tackle machine. As long as he can just kind of stay healthy. And I don't mind Bo Nix that much. I mean, I thought he was great, in rookie drafts, especially super flex drafts, being able to grab him particularly late in the 1st round or even 2nd round in some leagues was awesome. But Kenny Pickett was a 1st round pick kind of by default. They really needed a quarterback. And then Jordan Addison was kind of the reason why Kenny Pickett, was taken where he was taken. Oh, Nix is a top 15 pick. And now he goes to an offense that kind of sucks, right? They got nobody there. But the way that Sean Payton's offense is, he kind of makes it easy for him, right? We're talking about short, quick throws at the line of scrimmage. We saw that with Drew Brees a lot too. So, can he make it simple enough? Because Bo Nix is a pretty safe quarterback. He can run a little bit. He's smart with the football. So can he just be decent? It's kind of, I think it's all they're asking for. I don't think he's going to be any kind of, Joe Burrow or anything like that. But can he be decent enough to just run the offense?
I couldn't agree with you more, Stevie. I think that Sean Payton is going to set him up for success. At least give him the easy shots to get his confidence going early in the season. A lot of screen plays, a lot of short passes, slants, stuff like that. And he's shown at Oregon that he can execute that. And now they're not gonna sneak up on anybody. They're not gonna have a winning record. I would say their ceiling will be 6 to 7 wins. Their floor will probably be 4 wins. But I feel like he by the end of this season, the Broncos are going to be happy at least with their selection of Bo Nix, just because I do feel like he knows how to run that offense. And, he is one of the most experienced quarterbacks coming out of college, man, as he played a full 5 years and a redshirt year. So the kid's going into the proper situation to be successful.
Right.
I like it. Any picks? Let's talk favorite pick, least favorite pick before we wrap it up. Steve, you are our humble guest, man. We appreciate you rocking with us. Brother Fox, how can the good folks take care of us before we get into our favorite and least favorite picks?
As always, y'all can give us that HBO special. If you know what the HBO special is, it's the Help a Brother Out special. So help some brothers out. Hit that like button, subscribe. It truly, truly goes a long way.
There it is. There it is. Who you like, who you dislike, Stevie? Give us one of each, please.
I think I love the Alvin Kamara at the 4.9. I mean, the guy averaged over 17 fantasy points per game. Was third in fantasy points per game last year. Still finished top 12 even with missing time. I don't think the guy has given us less than a top 12 season. Other than one season, he's given us a top 12 season every single year. Nothing's changed. There's going to be plenty of dump offs. Like, yes, that team sucks, but I mean, if you're telling me the floor is 17 points per game, you're getting them in the end of the fourth round as your RB2, like that's just crazy value for me.
I like it. Brother Fox, you got a favorite pick?
My favorite pick, and I've loved where he's been falling in most fantasy drafts, but I feel like Love is going to have an amazing season. And to get your starting quarterback at the end of the fifth round after, quarterback 8 coming off the board, I just feel like it's going to be hard to pick which receiver out of that Green Bay offense actually emerges as wide receiver 1. But the clear-cut fantasy pick for that offense is Love. So.
And let me play devil's advocate for a minute there with you with Jordan Love, because I'm thinking more in the dynasty mindset as well. But if you're getting Jordan Love in the 5th, like, what's the real difference between Jordan Love, Joe Burrow, Dak Prescott, and Kyler Murray?
Well, Joe Burrow and Kyler Murray, they're absolutely blue tent boys. Like, I know people don't really want to associate Joe Burrow with that injury bug, but he's only been healthy 2 seasons, albeit those 2 seasons were a Super Bowl appearance and an AFC Championship appearance. But who's to say?
You can kind of even throw Tua in golf almost in there, because you're talking about all of these guys that can pretty much throw for 4,500-ish yards and 30 tutties.
True.
Right?
So I look at the end of the season, the last 8 games of the season last year, Jordan Love, it seemed like it all just kind of clicked. All of his receivers, Watson had been hurt pretty much the majority of the season, off and on. And so he was working with guys who, second and third team guys, and making them look like they were elite wide receivers. Reminded me a lot of what Drew Brees used to do. Would he take a no-name receiver and just kind of make him look elite? And I feel like, albeit the hype is with the Bears in this, in that division, with what they did in the draft, but I still feel like they're going to have to go through Green Bay. I think Green Bay is going to be formidable. Now, the difference between, I think that Love, I feel like they throw the ball. I don't have the numbers to back this up. I wish I did. I wish I had the numbers in front of me, but I feel like in this particular offense, Love is just, it's like the perfect situation for him, for the offense that they run there. And the fact that he's been with the same head coach for so many years, they've catered that offense to work around the skill set.
Now, I'm with you 100%. Like, I love Jordan Love, and I think he's great for that team. But just talking more strategy-wise, like the difference in points per game between some of those guys and guys that you can kind of get a few rounds later, that's how I'm thinking of it in that aspect. But I'm with you with Jordan Love. I think he's a stud.
I feel like it's a small sample size for Jordan Love, so it's hard to really articulate the numbers, because his end of the season last year was so phenomenal compared to the beginning of the season.
That's true.
So we need a full 16-game sample size of that talent to really know what he's capable of. But I feel like he's gonna have a 30+ touchdown year.
Oh yeah, I mean, he did last year. What did he throw? 32 last year. I mean,
32.
This guy's had quite a few like 40 pass attempt games. Like, he was chucking that thing.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite pick, I went with I like Monty at 7-3. We don't know what's going on with Gibbs and the hammy. I want to say he was running back 22 last year. So you're getting an RB2, and he missed 1 or 2 games. I like him. He's not quite the same guy who finished RB3, I want to say 3 seasons ago. But that Detroit offense moves. The defense is still pretty bad. To get a solid quality RB2 could have a lot more upside if Gibbs hamstring lingers or gets worse. So I like Monty at 7-3.
Yeah, I like the Monty pick too. I mean, I'm taking him over Aaron Jones, Swift. Maybe not over. Like you can wait because his ADP is not that high. But like I like him better than some of those guys up there. Like he's very, very safe. He's not going to finish as a top 10 guy, but he's going to give you solid production week in and week out. What did he score? A tutty every game last year, I think.
Yeah, I mean, what was his name? Jamal Williams broke the Detroit Lions single-season touchdown record, and I think he's a better running back than him. Now, granted, he has to split the backfield with Gibbs, but he's their goal line guy. He's a tough runner, still relatively young. To get him at 7-3, I'm not mad at it. I'll take him over Chubb, personally. I know Chubb has
13 tutties in 14 games last year. I mean,
yeah. One before we wrap it up, one pick that was like a little bit of a head scratcher for you guys.
Head scratcher.
Ooh, I think
Other than the Garrett Wilson and before Jamar Chase and AJ Brown. I mean, Laporta and Kelsey in the second round for me is just way too early. Like Laporta wasn't even the leader in fantasy points per game last year. Like he's being very, very overvalued right now.
Fair enough. I'm gonna go with another tight end. I don't like Kittle at 5'7". I feel like that's just that's a round or two too early for me. Ayuk is for right now still there. Debo's there. I think Kittle might even be hurt right now. He seems like he's always hurt. A talented guy, a dog, well-rounded tight end, a little bit older. I just 5'7". No, that is 5'7". 5'7" still seems a little early. I guess you got to get him as the last guy with top 3, top 4 upside. I don't like him. I don't like Pitts at 6'4" either. He's never been the guy.
Facts.
I know.
I'm a fan of the Drake London pick, 2-6. I get that he has a new quarterback situation, but I feel like that the real issue with Drake London is the same issue that he had in college. He's never been able to really beat the press. He never really gets truly open. He doesn't have that separation speed. He's not an elite route runner to actually create said separation. So I feel like it's a lot of fantasy people look at where he was drafted and the hope is there that because of said draft that he's going to like somehow emerge with Kirk Cousins. But I've never seen a hint for him coming out of college, and I don't see it now. That's one. And then with Brandon Ayuk, I understand he's holding out, and they sound like they're working on a contract that it might get resolved very soon. But as we stated before, when it comes to players holding out, especially at skill position, he's going to run the risk of having a soft tissue injury early in the season. There's a good chance week 1, week 2, he's going to pull a hamstring. And it's not like Brandon Ayuk has been a very healthy player throughout his career. Between him and Deebo Samuel, they always miss several games every single year. So I would be wary to pick him that early, only because of the fact that the chance of him getting hurt is going to be very high.
I don't like the Deebo Samuel pick now that you pointed out. That's not a combo I want. I don't want 2 receivers from the same team, let alone 2 guys who really feast when the other one is absent. Any thoughts, Stevie, before we wrap up?
No, not really. I have to fight back with you though on the London against press because he was the 81st percentile at 76.5 success rate through Matt Harmon's reception perception. So we'll have to fight you on that one. But no, I actually love Drake London. I think he's in for a big season this year. Him and Kyle Pitts. I know y'all hate Kyle Pitts, but I am a Kyle Pitts guy. And I think for both of those players, especially dynasty wise, I feel like they're very safe because you have Kirk Cousins. And then if Kirk Cousins goes down or they get rid of him, then you got Michael Penix coming in who can also throw the football. So I feel like both of those guys are very kind of safe players, and you should feel comfortable about their quarterback situation going forward. And we've seen what Kirk Cousins can do, with some wide receivers that can actually play. So and tight ends at that as well. So.
Appreciate it. Thank you for rocking with us, man, and taking the time. You are always welcome. I think we have maybe one more because we do every other. So not next week after next. That might be Labor Day Monday. If you're free, we would love to have you back on for the final mock draft Monday of the off season.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely, man. I'm definitely down to come on. Did we lose brother over here?
I think we did. We did. But with that said, everyone take care. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Tomorrow, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we have Fantasy Football Safe Space with me, myself, Brother Fox, and Big E, the Warden of the South. He should be on screen tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Peace.
Appreciate y'all.